My name is Ian Walsh, and this is The Moment Money Matters with Hard Money Bankers. Today joined with John Pack from Hal Properties. John, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man. So I was put in touch with you by a couple of acquaintances it's a small circle, I guess, in Philadelphia as you grow a little bit and everybody seems to know each other. You guys have a very unique niche at Hal Properties, and that's so your specific function you're a partner with, but you focus on the operations.
Correct.
Okay. So your background, you've been with Hal Properties for about 7 years.
Yep. Started 2010.
2010. And you initially had started in the property management because you guys had a lot of properties in-house.
Yep.
And then now you focus primarily on a lot of the acquisitions and development. But I think what we should go over in this video with everybody is the in-house property management. A lot of people, so very familiar with at TCS, third-party management. I know how that works pretty well, but there's a different level of game in terms of where a developer or somebody who acquires their own properties can get to, which you guys have ascended to. And that is, hey, when you have a full 100 properties, 200 properties, whatever that may be, you guys now have an in-house, you have your own property management company in-house. You have different trials and tribulations that maybe a third-party management company may or may not have. So give us some experience as you've grown. Talk about how when you grew through taking, you guys have a lot of properties that you own. How did you find in-house running that to work? How do you guys do that operationally?
So when I came on board, we were still relatively small, right? So 2010, we had maybe 30, 40 units at the most.
Okay.
We're a little over 600 right now.
Wow.
What we found was we started looking at third-party management, and when you're at that level where you're still somewhat small, right? You're single-family duplexes, you're paying 7 to 10% management fee.
Right.
It's taking a big chunk away from you. You start to lose a lot of control. Expenses start to go up because at that point, third-party managers, while they have the best intentions, still have the bottom line to keep themselves.
Sure.
Since we own the properties ourselves, our goal was how can we keep our expenses the cheapest and keep our tenants the happiest. And that's why we really started the property management company.
Okay.
So now we're able to manage it roughly 5%. Our expenses across our total portfolio is roughly 28%, 25 to 28, which is lower than most.
Yeah, that's very low.
And we really do that because we don't have on-site managers, right? So even our big properties, we don't have an in-house person that's a payroll there, right? So we're able to spread that across all of our units because we have a centralized location.
Okay.
From there, it's really a matter of, how can we just, again, keep our tenants happy? When you manage in-house, you don't have to go through the issues of dealing with the ownership of saying, hey, this issue happened, can I get this done? And they go, all right, I'm going to get a quote, to get approvals. Right? Now it's a matter of, hey, this is easier because this issue happened. I know what our budget is. I know what we need to expect from a pro forma. I'm going to get this done and get it done quickly, keep the tenants happy, and make sure everything runs smooth from that side. So it actually made things a little bit easier. As far as bigger issues that would happen from that is trying to figure out how to make money from a property management side in-house while still making money for the ownership. That became an issue probably last year.
Okay.
Where our structure kind of changed, right? We originally said we want to start property management because we want to save money for the ownership groups. And then all of a sudden you hit a certain size. So roughly 500 units, we said, wait a minute, we should be able to make money here too, not just cover our overhead. And then all of a sudden we were able to make some changes to allow us to do that. And it's really a matter of running a little bit thinner. You don't need as many people when you do off-site management, as well as being able to change small things in the leases, different things that will drive in revenue and not affect the ownership bottom line. So we're able to do a couple things, and now over the last 2 years, we've been profitable and saving money, which is the ultimate goal.
That's really interesting. So you actually use the number 500 units. So I've always said to people, so I guess there's some sort of overlap in in-house versus third-party where people ask about property management, and you hear 100 units, you hear 200 units. It sounds like a lot, and it is a lot of property. But I always said in the property management company, there's no money to be made until, for the company, it's a struggle until you get to 500 units. I've always said that. And then at that point, you can look at it and say, okay, we can apply resources to it. We can do this job, the way we wanted to do it. You can step back a little bit and say, okay, where can we streamline processes? So how do you guys work it internally in the company? Do you guys have a property manager? Do you have departments? Do you have an accountant? How did you guys break up the?
So we have quite a bit. When you talk about just property management, we do all in-house, right? So it's a matter of acquisition side gets it, hands it to our construction company, they build it, and then they hand it to our property management company. So everything's in-house, and our property management company gets involved at the say around 100 to 120 days before construction finishes.
Okay.
Right now, all of a sudden, we're doing our pre-marketing. They're setting that up. They're actually involved with some of the architects and walking through and going, if I'm going to lease this quicker, these need to be the layouts. These need to be the rents.
Okay.
And they have a big input on that. So that was huge to get involved that way, make sure that everybody has an input on our success. The other piece of that is separating it out, saying, all right, now this side is going to run maintenance of that. This side is going to be leasing. While it's all property management, we're going to keep them separate. When we were smaller, they overlapped. And then it got to a point you can't offer good maintenance service when you're out worrying about getting the apartments leased.
That's very true.
And vice versa.
That's very true. So that's interesting. I guess as there's a few differences and there's a few similarities to third-party management, but ultimately we're all doing the same thing. I always think it's funny and interesting. People underestimate what property management is. It's not easy.
Nope.
It's like, people think, hey, I'm going to collect some rents and tenants are going to pay me. There are so many moving pieces. You have work orders, water bills, utilities. You guys are in-house. So you have the electric, everything, gas, shut-off notices, evictions. So many little moving parts. And a lot of times, if you're talking about the 5 or it's the 10%, it's not a lot over 10 properties. It is a lot over 500 or 600 properties. So that makes sense. So very interesting. So John, I know you guys you're at 600 units and you're going to $1 billion if you can get there, right?
Yeah.
So if anybody that's going to be watching this wants to get in touch with you to say, hey, I have a really good 10 to 50 unit building to come to you guys, or a development opportunity, you guys are obviously huge buyers in this area. How do they contact you?
So reach out to us. So you go to our website, which is just www.howproperties.com, HOWproperties.com. Reach out to us on that. There's different service request forms you can fill out. They come directly to us, and we'll get right back to you. If you want to reach out to me directly, just John, JOHN, at howproperties.com, and I'll put you in contact with whomever you need based on what your needs are. We go about that way.
Perfect. And you guys know me. I'm Ian at hardmoneybankers.com.